Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Roy, and today I will explain to you about the work program. And some pictures are from teacher Jingjing and Dr. Daniel and Professor Subek. And I am a eye doctor, previously working in Linkou Chang'an Memorial Hospital and Wanfang Hospital. Now I work in Nobel Eye Clinic. You ever work in Taiwan, on the street, in the train station, or on the bus? You can see my picture. I'm on the right lower corner, and this is me before losing weight and before joining the world program. Here is a comparison of me and my wife. My wife lost 8 kilos in 3 months and has graduated for 2 years. And also, she gave birth to our third baby after the graduation. And I joined this program this year and lose 7 kilos within 1 month. And surprisingly, I found my body fat ratio to drop from 22 to around 11 to 12 and quite steady. And you can see the lower picture. There's actually our third baby in my uh, wife's belly, and it's 8 months. So you can see there's a big difference. And the upper picture's wife is not pregnant, but lower picture's wife is pregnant for 8 months. And you can see it's the same baby, my first and second girl. And this is my actual graph when I made this PowerPoint. And you can see from the beginning, I lost 13.5 kilos, and around 10.4 kilos are fat. And you can see the lower column, the body fat ratio is 10.43% for now. So we can say it proudly that in our WOW program, we can lose more than 70% of the weight consisted of fat. And this is hardly achieved in other programs. Many programs will make you lose some weight, but you don't know what you have lost. Maybe you lost some proteins, or maybe you lost some water. It is fine if you just lose water, but it might be dramatical if you lose protein and muscle, because you may never get them back. So to lose your fat wisely is important, which we can provide precisely in the world. And from this Our World in Data website, we can see the share of deaths attributed to obesity in year 2019. We can see in some countries it's around 20 to 30%. So we don't want to die early due to the obesity, and also our we don't want that to happen to our friends or relatives. And we have to know that the obesity is regarded in the BMI, the body mass index. So later I will explain that it might be a low estimate because some people have normal BMI, but actually they have high body fat ratio. So their body is still in the inflammatory phase. And so actually we might have a much higher percentage of the obesity problem. And the other way we can say it as the metabolic syndrome means the metabolism is in trouble. And we can see the first criteria is the elevated waist circumference. In Taiwan, we will use 90 centimeters for men and 80 for female. And we can see the second and the third column. This is the we said the dyslipidemia. We can see the triglycerides, and if it's over 150 or you have a low HDL, it means you have the metabolic problem. And we know the hypertension is set as systolic blood pressure higher than 140 and diastolic pressure higher than 90. And there's the pre-hypertension, and it's regarded as 130 and 85. So it's very close to hypertension and also high elevated fasting glucose due to the insulin resistance. We know the insulin will put the blood sugar in our fat cell and also muscle and the liver cell. So if you have insulin resistance, we can expect that you have a high blood sugar, but uh, there's no way that your body can easily store them in the muscle or liver or the fat cells. And so during these criteria, we can know there's a big problem in the whole body metabolism. So before we continue, we must have some consensus in our wall program. Losing weight does not equal to losing fat. So we must lose fat precisely. And second, obesity is malnutrition. Obesity uh, means we will expect that you will have a wrong diet, maybe too much sugar. Sometimes it's too much sugar and too much fat. And so we must correct this diet problem using high protein and high fiber and low calorie during our weight losing program. And excess fat is stored in a fat cell. So there's no magic potion that you can drink. So you will lose your fat from your bowel or stool. That is not realistic. And losing fat is to use up the stored excessive fat. So we will not emphasize that you lose all your fat. You still need to have the lower limit of fat to make your body function well, which make this wall program a very realistic program. We can see these two diagrams. The left side, this man has a high subcutaneous fat and high visceral fat. And the right uh, human has some subcutaneous fat and very little visceral fat. And this human, we can expect he or she can react very well to the blood sugar fluctuation because he or she has a low visceral fat and a good volume of subcutaneous fat. And we can also expect the left side human will have a metabolic problem because there's a high visceral fat content. And from this picture, we can know that the fat cell, if they are in a normal size, they are anti-inflammatory. That means they will not cause inflammation. But in the right hand side, we can see the engorged and very swollen fat cell. They become pro-inflammatory. They will excrete inflammatory cytokines and make your whole body in an inflammatory state. We can see this is Coach Yulin, and we left side, and he spent 12 years exercise more and eat less. But we can know even though he has a normal BMI, but there is a big belly that he cannot lose for 12 years. Also, he got anemia due to malnutrition and also GERD, the gastric regurgitation disease. But after he joined the WOW program for 10 days, we can see the dramatic reduction of his belly, which we know that we have achieved successful visceral fat reduction. And also, he got his anemia improved, and also his GERD also improved. So we can see this photo of me and the Coach Yuling that we will say he's in a green state. But we can see from the previous photo, even though in his green state because he is tall, so we underestimate his body fat. Actually, he looked much healthier in the right column with a blue mark. So this is a very individualized program. Not that if you have all green signs, that means you don't need a wall program. Maybe you still need wall program for the visceral fat reduction. And we can see this is Mr. Wang, and he was a water game paddling coach. So we know he spent many time exercising. But still, we can see the left-hand side. This is he before joining the war program and has some belly. And for the right-hand side, we can see the belly has been less. And during his post in the Facebook, we can see he exercised 1 year, running 2,000 meters every morning and 8 kilometers every night. He lost 10 kilos in 1 year, but still has fatty liver. After he joined the WOW program for 1 month, he lost 10 kilos, and his fatty liver has gone. So 1 month reduction is same as 1 years of exercising. And we know if there is a high blood sugar with high lipid profile, we will make our arteries become hard with this atherosclerosis. Means there is the white blood cell, which uh, specifically the macrophage, will have these fats stored and in the intima or intima is the inner layer of the artery, and it will be very narrowed. So you might have the acute heart attack or stroke. Okay, you will say there is some metal stents. So if I got my arteries obstructed, I can always get this stent. But we have to know there is a high stenosis rate of the bare metal stent, even the drug-eluted stent, with a 20% restenosis rate. And it is not possible that every time you have stenosis in the hospital. So if you have the acute stenosis or acute obstruction at home, you might go to heaven. And we know it's not only about our arteries. The fat obesity will also make our lungs or liver or the gynecology disease and also the arthritis, all these problems. And if we got very, very tiresome and very, very problematic. We can see this is an article from the oncologist. The male, they have a higher risk like the esophageal cancer, thyroid cancer, colon cancer, renal cancer, liver cancer, and for the female, we can see the endometrium, gallbladder, esophageal, renal, leukemia. Many of them are higher. So we don't want to have our arteries obstructed, and also we don't want to get our body have cancer. And what's more benefit we can expect? We can see from this paper from Lancet in 2018, if you lose more than 15 kilograms within 1 year, 86% of the second type diabetes will have remission. Means you don't need any diabetes drugs or insulin injections anymore. So actually, we don't want to prescribe more medication. We want the diabetic patients have diabetes remission. And it's very easy. It's just to achieve weight reduction. And not only diabetes, we can see if you lose about 5% of body weight, your hypertension or hyperglycemia, which is also called prediabetes, will be recovered. And if you lose 10% of body weight, you can see the second item is the non-alcoholic fatty liver. And also the third column is the polycystic ovary syndrome, which make you difficult to have babies, have pregnancy, you will have these problems improved. And also, if you lose 50% of body weight, you will have improvement in your cardiovascular disease and GERD, which is the gastric regurgitation disease, and also NASH. NASH is hepatitis, a form of the fatty liver. And also, we can see the urinary stress incontinence and the knee OA, which is osteoarthritis of the knee, will be improved. So, we know that it's like a big lottery. If you win, you can have so many disease improved or we can see this is an actual example of our trainees. This is former army called former Marine, and his HbA1c was 7.6. And after 3 months of war program, he lost 17 kilos, and his HbA1c dropped to 5.4, and also fasting blood glucose has become 90. And this is a woman from Xiangyi coach, and we can see this blood sugar is 505 and 55. And after 14 days of the war program, the actually we can see it's 6 months, but 14 days there's no more insulin injection. And we can see from the right hand side from the 2021 October, the HbA1c is 9.1 and dropped to 5.9 in 3 months. This is a type 2 DN. And this is data from a nutritionist, Chen Chen. We can see the liver enzyme, which is called the AST-GOT or and the ALT-GPT, and her GOT improved in 1 month, and also her GPT improved to normal range uh, about 4 months completely. And this is her photo. her brother was a pharmacist and he don't believe the program, so he want to join the program and maybe find some fraud. But he lost about 20 kilos and his diabetes and hypertension are gone. So now he also become a coach in the world program to help. And this is very famous trainees and also become coach now. This is Susu and the big head cat. And this is the HbA1c of the big head cat, the man. His HbA1c dropped from 7.2 to 5.4 after 102. And this is Cai Jie. Is a beautiful girl, and why she joined the world program is his father become diagnosed of diabetes. So she want to try the program to see if the weight reduction effect was so amazing. So she lost 17 kilos and also her father lost 12 kilos. And uh, his diabetes become remission. And this is Coach Emily. And she also helped her dad. Her dad, we can see the upper table. The cholesterol is 370 and the triglyceride is 1,137 and uric acid is 6.0. We can see after 20 days, 25 days of war program, the cholesterol and the triglyceride and uric acids all drop to normal limits. And this is amazing that we can find here people do not just lose weight for themselves, but sometimes people lose weight because they want to cure their family members. And this PowerPoint is from Professor Subeck. And we can see the infertility is a big problem with high BMI. There is a low sperm count, and also we can see the previously the polycystic ovary syndrome, which make these females hard to have pregnancy, and they may have the pregnancy-related diabetes during their pregnancy and after their and this is Joyce Su, and she lost 21.5 kilos. Previously, she had diabetes and knee osteoarthritis. Every month, she has to have the hyaluronic acid injection in her knees, and about 5,000 to 6,000 Taiwanese dollar every week. And also, her dog had lost 8 kilos by the war program. So we know dogs have very good nose. If there's any problem in the wall biscuits, it is impossible for the dogs to eat them. So this is a very safe across species. And this is Hanita's meter with our wall meter. We can see the body weight is the same. It's 65.8. But the body fat ratio or body fat percentage in the wall meter is 17.29. And it is 15.8 in the Hanita meter. So we know it's much harsh on our wall meter. If you got improved in wall meter, we are very confident you will also get a good result with other uh, brands of fat. So our consensus, we need to repeat it. Losing weight is not our goal, but to lose fat. And obesity is a problem with malnutrition, the wrong proportion of food, and excess fat is in the fat cell. So we need to lose our excess fat from the fat. So there's many problem with exercise more, eat less, because you will have malnutrition when you eat less. And also the adaptive thermogenesis due to the dieting will cause you have lower uh, energy expenditure. And you might have high cortisol level. Cortisol will make you lose muscle and store more fat. And there's no continuous additive effect due to strenuous exercise. And also, you need at least 30 minutes of strenuous exercise to start losing fat. And you might have body damage if you have more than 10% of your stand. We can see this is Ashin. He was a TSMC engineer. He go to the gym more than 3 times every week, but he got an injury in his cruciate ligament in the running meal. So he became fatter, and he joined the war program and become the middle picture with with muscles. This is Lee Min coach, and he was over 100 kilograms. So he played basketball, but his bone became broken, and we can see he cannot lose weight by exercise because he has excessive weight. So he met with his important opportunity, which is uh, we call him San Cong Liu Dehua, which is Andrew Lau, like, and but his real name is Chou Yuxia, and he introduced Li Ming for the world, and Li Ming lost 15 kilos within 1.5 months, and also his fatty liver. And this is modeled by teacher Xiang Yi, teacher Yixia. And Yixia, we can know if you are older than 80 years old, is it possible for you exercise more and eat less? It's not possible. You are kidding her if you ask her to exercise more. So it's the same. At first, she want to lose weight by running, but her knees got injury and was asked for knee replacement surgery. So her daughter was very fat but did not want to spend money to join the war program. Spend money for her mother. This is a very good result. She lost 25 kilos with 18 kilos of fat. So her daughter also joined the war program. And this is a paper in 2006. High volume of exercise could not increase energy expenditure. In the additive model, we think you exercise more, you will have a more higher total energy expenditure. But in the real model, which is called the constraint model, if you exercise more, your basal energy expenditure will drop, making your total energy expenditure reaching. We can see from these two tables that lower table, when you exercise to a high extent, there is no additive effect for the total energy expenditure. And this is a paper in the American Journal of Medicine, which is the isolated aerobic exercise and weight loss, a systemic review and a meta-analysis of randomized control trials. And this is exercise alone means you do not have a diet control. And we can see within 1 month, 1 year, the weight loss is less than 2 kilograms, and the abdominal circumference reduction is less than 4 centimeters, and the blood pressure reduction is less than 5 millimeters. And we can see this example. This is Li Hong, which he is a trimarathonist. But you can see there is a big belly, and he went to the blood test and have a quite we call it a lipid dyslipidemia, with high cholesterol of 256 and high triglyceride of 222. After he joined the war program, we can see the abdomen become much smaller, and also he got a normal total cholesterol and triglyceride. This is 教官, which was a pilot, and he exercised more and got knee injury and become 85.45 kilograms. And he lost about 2 months, lost 13.9 kilograms and 10.5 kilograms as fat. And he ever think of suicide when he was in the left big belly uh, status, but he was very optimistic and this is a coach of Siquan, and because his mother has type 2 diabetes, so he wanted to try the work program. So he eat a lot after dinner for 1 month and gained 4.7 kilos. And he lost 3 kilos of fat within 1 week. And a very famous way now is the 16-8 fasting. We can see this article in New England Journal of Medicine. If we compare calorie restriction with or without time restricted eating or time restricted fasting, which is 16-8 or 24 uh, restriction model, we can see there's no difference between the body weight or the BMI, waist circumference, or body fat mass and also the lean mass or body fat percentage or visceral fat or the subcutaneous. There's no difference if you apply the same calorie, one with the intermittent fasting and one without the intermittent. Run through the right lower figure that for the percentage achieve more than 10% of body weight loss is only 39 or 41% in the time restricted group or the calorie restriction group. For for us, it's so easy to lose 10% of body weight in 1 month, and they spend 1 year. So we will say wow and for our work program because it's now also very popular is to use the GLP-1 receptor agonist like Saxenda. And this is a French NDS database. You can see for male, there's a higher risk for getting the thyroid cancer. And also for female, it's a higher risk to get cancer. Mm. And it's also not very efficient because if we take this 8 percentage 8% by the 28 weeks, about 7 months. So if, take for example, you are 70 kilos and you want to lose 8%, which is 5.6 kilos. First, you spend 7 months, and also you spend around 200 US dollar per month, and times by seven, so you spend 1,400 US dollar. So first you spend a long time, which is 7 months. Second, you spend a lot of money, which is around 1,400 US dollar. But almost everyone can lose 5.6 kilos in 1 month here. And you also spend less than 1,000 US dollars. So you spend less time and less money. And this is a very new paper, and this is a report from Arizona State University. It means if you feed your gut microbiome well, you will get a GLP-1. Why you spend money to get a GLP-1 injection? In our work program, we use a similar concept of the high fiber original food and the resistant starch, which they use the NBD. And this, if you apply the same calorie, the NBD will lose weight and lose the fat mass. But there is little change in the lean mass, which is the fat-free mass. And surprisingly, there is no metabolic rate difference. And you might say, okay, maybe you just eat one cookie in our work program. No, this is a real picture of how our trainees eat. You can see there's many vegetable and many proteins, which is not starvation. Okay, and some people will say, okay, I heard that thyroid cancer don't kill people, and but there's nothing fun to get a thyroid cancer. This is a very famous singer in China, and she got a thyroid cancer, and she almost lost her career because she could not speak or sing well for 6 months. So there's no such thing as a lazy or lucky cancer as thyroid cancer. Why you risk yourself getting cancer just because you want to lose weight? We have a much better, which is the work program. And also, some people choose to have the bariatric surgery or the bypass surgery, but you will have malnutrition because the vitamin B12 cannot be absorbed, and also the gastric volume will regain after 5 to 6 years, and it's very high chance to have regained weight, even fatter than you before getting. Okay, you might say, yes, we can do the liposuction, but liposuction, if you have one area which is about a hand size, you will use around 20 to 40,000 Taiwanese dollar. And a very famous example, this girl is called the Viking Queen. She spent three hundred and forty thousand Taiwanese dollar to do the liposuction, but she's still 61 kilograms with 34% of body weight, body fat percentage. But she joined the program for 2.5 months and she got 11 kilos off with a low body weight of 24%, which is very good for women. And so we know that if you have a good microbiome in your gut, you will produce GLP-1 and also you will have less leptin. So why do you spend money to get a GLP-1 injection? You just need a good. So yeah, this is again this cancer risk. And we know that carbohydrates have a high GI index, which our insulin will go up. And protein and fat have a low insulin inducing effect. In a high insulin, we will store more fat. So in our work program, we will adjust the ratio of carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And uh, if we have this fat in our cells, there's a high chance of insulin resistance. So we must cut off this vicious circle first. So we must do a carbohydrate reduction. So we will use this strategy, which is a low glycemic index, and we will use the TCA cycle and also lipid cleaving enzyme and coenzyme. With good nutrition, we can oxidize our fat. So the most important thing in work program is the coach. If you don't have coach, you will not achieve a good balance of these principles. If you achieve one or two principles, you might lose about the 5% of body weight, but we will stop. If you don't have a good coach, you cannot lose more continuously. And we know every cell have mitochondria except the red blood cell. Do you know why? Because red blood cell need to carry oxygen. If they use mitochondria, they will use some oxygen and make them not efficient in carrying. This is TCA cycle. We must see this NAD plus. So in our other products, we also give you the NAD plus, but not discussed. And this is the fatty acid metabolism. Our fat cell, they have the long chain fatty acids. So if you have malnutrition, you will not conduct the carnitine shuttle. So your fatty acids could not enter the mitochondria easily. And also in our program, we measure the ketone level. So we know how much you use your. Okay, so in this picture, they discuss about the magic bullet to improve the mitochondria function. And these six items will make your mitochondria work less efficiently, like inflammation, oxidative stress, or GI dysfunction, or insulin resistance, and they will make your mitochondria work less, so make you fat. And also, this is a model by the critical illness model. So if your mitochondria don't work well, you will have reduced APT generation, and also your muscle will become gone, which is called muscle wasting, and you'll have intramuscular inflammation. So some of our trainees had muscle soreness first when they are fat, but when they lose weight, they found their muscle function. So the traditional way, which is the ketogenic diet, they eat a lot of fat, but there's no evidence if you keep supplying traditional large quantity of macronutrients, which are fat, they will show consistent help in the metabolism. If you keep ketogenic diet for a long time, your body may not keep fatty acid metabolism because you have a. And the mitochondria is like a bacteria in our cell because we know some bacteria live in our gut and some live in our cell. Around 40 are mitochondria in heart or kidney. So they are our good friend is actually like a bacteria living in the archaea and making us all eukaryotes. And this is important because before they live together, one molecule of glucose can produce two molecules of ATP. But when archaea have this oxygen metabolism bacteria living together, they can produce 36 ATP, which is much more efficient. So cells can communicate. And just like humans, like we can communicate because we have good and we know that our cells, they have 55 proteins, 25 nucleic acids, 15 lipids, and 5 carbohydrates. So it is basically very wrong if you want to cut off one. of these components, then your cells will have not enough nutrition. And our ATP turnover rate is over 65 kilos per day. So basically, you produce all your body's weight by ATP every day. So this is why, so importantly, we use the ATP, the TCA cycle, to help us to. And it's very interesting that we say humans have metabolic disease or metabolic syndrome. This professor mentioned that he think that cancer is a mitochondrial metabolic disease. So if we want to make our body healthier or have less chance of cancer progression, we will want to use our mitochondria. I do not 100% agree with him, but this is a very interesting. So finally, let's run through some cases. This is me and my wife. And this is Daniel. He spent more than 10 years in the gym, but could not get his body fat ratio lower than 14. But he achieved this in 9 days. This is Dr. Xiaohan, and she became fat after pregnancy, and she lost 9 kilograms in. And this Dr. Lee reversed his diabetes and hypertension. He lost 14 kilos in 16 6 days. And this is very famous Singapore doctor, as you know, very handsome Dr. Gary. He lost 8 kilos in 1 month. So this is a very famous person called Einstein. He knows the secrets of the universe. What did he say? He said, only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. So in the world program, we realize our value, which is to people. At least there is someone you will fight for, right? Because maybe you don't need to lose weight. But we can see this example. The left upper is the Feng Feng coach. She didn't want to join the program, but she want to help her daughter to lose some weight. But her daughter said, "Oh, you must join the work program first." So Feng Feng coach lose 17 kilos in 4 months. And this her daughter Tracy also joined the program later and lost 26 kilos in 6 months. And Feng Feng coach's husband also got hypertension reversed. And the middle part is Chen Chen's father. Chen Chen's father lost 7 kilos in 2 months. And left lower is Coach Zijie. Why Zijie joined the program is her husband has fatty liver, and she has her husband's fatty liver resolved. And the middle picture is social coach. And the social coach had her mother hypertension reversed. And the right upper is Coach Ting Yi. And Ting Yi's mother had diabetes, but reversed diabetes and hyperlipidemia after the world program. And right lower, as we mentioned, is the coach Si Kwan, and he joined the program because his mother has diabetes. Now gone. So you must believe in one person, which is yourself, because you choose to come to the meeting. And BK is a very special company. You can see the upper picture is 132 people dancing together, and 11 are children. If we minus the 11 children, we have the 11, 121 adults, and they lose 1,560 kilograms. And the lower is the star group because we are the star group. So here everyone is a star. It's the best chance to join the work program and become coach. the also for your own health. So like I said, there's always someone worthwhile for you to fight for. Thank you.